Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Chloe here, and we're going to be checking out another episode of First Bite today. If you guys see me bend down and out of frame, this is because I am playing with Kiwi, who is too energetic right now, because he slept pretty much the whole day while I was at work, and yeah, now he's playing. He's got his little cat scratcher next to me, but we'll see if he's feeling game enough to make a little bit of a guest appearance here. Okay, I do have to say, I got him this, you know, like those cat wands, right? I got him a cat wand toy, and it came broken. The one thing that this toy is supposed to do, it's supposed to be on a friggin' stick, so then I can, like, bounce it and, like, play with it. No, I have to tape this. My little boy deserves better, and I'm very frustrated looking at you, Chewy. Anyways, that's where I got the toy from. Anyways, though, we're gonna keep going. I have no idea where we left off. So many things have happened over the course of this past week. I don't even know. Okay.
Unless it isn't.
Okay. So she wants to show me... Well, I think we should... It's Valeria, right? So we need to look at something sexy. So let's do that. I swallowed loudly and fixed her with my best bedroom eyes. Give me the sexy shit. That hurt my self-confidence.
Oh, typical. Just like Laurel and Illy. But, lucky for you, this happens to be my strongest area. Close your eyes, kitten.
I listen and close them tight, and the effect is instantaneous. I'm on a bed. The sheets are blood red and impossibly soft against my bare skin. Ah, yeah, that thread count. I can feel hands upon me, but I can't see them. Their touch drifting carefully over my hips, waist, ribs. They press firmly, kneading at me before turning soft and gentle. Fingers tracing the cut of my clavicles, then up over my throat. Is this a cat? This feels like this is a cat. Is this Nasty Dennis? Or... Okay. I can't tell how many of them there are, but I feel overwhelmed. The best kind of overwhelmed. Like my brain is about to explode and a galaxy is going to burst to life behind my eyelids. Overwhelmed. There's a quiet whisper in my ear. A voice that feels familiar, but that I can't quite place. Maybe it's Valeria, or Laurel, Ilias. Either way, the voice says things that cause heat to bloom across my cheeks and the tip of my ears, everything burning hot, hot, hot. Just as I'm about to break, as I'm dangling off the precipice, I'm yanked back to my harsh reality. Wow, that's rude. Well, it isn't all that bad. Valeria's here after all. Valeria who's looking at me like she wants to eat me whole.
You're so receptive, kitten. That's good to know.
I'm confused. Am I auditioning to be a vampire or a friend with benefits? My skin still feels all hot and sticky, my palms clammy. That was, fun. A lot of fun. You're very talented. I know. What's it like living in the modern world? I think about her leaky attic comment and all the weird, wonderful, and frankly, terrifying adventures that she's been on, and I can't help but wonder, how the hell did you end up here in Portland? It's Portland, honey. That's the answer. The answer is, it's Portland. She looks a little taken aback at first, but her expression quickly softens into something akin to understanding. Well, like I said, things didn't exactly work out the way that I had planned, the way any of us had planned, I suppose.
It's precarious being a vampire in this day and age. The court dictates that we have to adhere to their silly, archaic rules and lay low, otherwise we'll be eliminated.
She punctuates the end of her sentence with some pretty sarcastic air quotes. Wait. The court, as in a vampire court? Valeria doesn't exactly seem pleased with my interest in this particular subject, and clearly it's a sore one.
A vampire court. Don't get too horny over the idea. It's far less glamorous than it sounds.
Why would I be horny over this idea? Is this why people watch Law and Order? You guys like the law part of it?
You're the bane of
or do you like the order?
Existence, I'll have you know. Bureaucracy is so crushing, regardless of if you actually have a soul.
I can feel the annoyance rolling off her in waves, and I'm not sure if I have the guts to poke her about it and witness another of her brain-shaking tantrums, but my eye is twitching at the prospect of there being a whole entire vampire court in my hometown. Clearly I'm doing a bad job at hiding it because she's narrowing her eyes at me. What is wrong with you? Oh, shit! I'm sorry that I showed an interest in the judicial system. You are horny over it, are you? I offer a sympathetic grin. I'm just trying to wrap my head around the fact that they've been here, that you've been here, existing with us this whole time. You got me some slack there, right?
You spend too much time on the internet, kitten.
I mean, I feel that.
I can assure you, it isn't anything like you've seen in your little movies or your silly books. It's sterile and boring. They exist solely to make our lives hell and keep us in line.
Which we don't take kindly to, as I'm sure you can guess. Keep you in line? How? You're so strong and powerful. And stubborn, I want to say, but I quite like my head being attached to my body.
Sweet of you. But despite how incredibly powerful the three of us are, there are, unfortunately, far older, far scarier vampires than us out in the big bad world.
Okay. Sorry about that. I had to... I'm sure you know better than anyone that you can't get away with much without ending up on Twitter these days. It's I said what I said. Can you imagine one of us getting caught feeding, killing? That shit would go viral fast. I can't exactly disagree.
Garbage and full of garbage people. Even creatures like us have evil overlords who want to control us.
She pauses for a moment, then she grins. It's a bit unnerving, if not slightly arousing. Though the court is no match for our Laurel, I'm pretty sure they've been plotting their downfall for decades. From the little interaction I've had with Laurel, I think to myself that they'll probably succeed. You know, talking to you is quite literally the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me.
So too. I'm wonderful.
Oh my goodness. I huff a laugh, nodding in agreement, and then a weird, stagnant silence falls between us. I feel like I need to broach the subject of her maybe possibly doing me a solid and turning me, but I'm hesitant to break this weird, strangely comfortable rapport we seem to have going on where she doesn't really look like she wants to kill me anymore. Valeria's staring at me, her brain clearly working hard to try and figure me out, and I hate how much of an open book I probably am.
Someone is not a thing our kind takes lightly.
And my traitorous human heart and brain is no match for her. She continues, stepping closer.
It's a commitment that no mortal could ever fathom. Something more permanent and intimate than any futile bonds made during a human's lifetime. You're tethered for the rest of your immortal life. For eternity.
Maybe even then.
Distance between my sire and I'm still all too aware of his existence.
Sounds like it was a bad parting of ways. I watch her expression shift. A subtle change that looks almost human, her sharp, otherworldly beauty softening for the briefest of moments before she's back to being cool and carefully collected. There's something almost soft and vulnerable about her, under all of that bravado and snapping teeth. It's nice.
I'm turned against my will, as most of us often are, and a person like me doesn't do well with being betrayed. I was rich and beautiful and free. And I fell in love with a man that I believed would join me in that freedom. I believed that we were the perfect match.
Ooh, and then Valeria glares at me and decides to dial down my curiosity. I'm trying to get lucky here, not straight up murdered.
And then that bastard goes and kills me on a fucking wedding night.
She bares her slender throat with the tip of her head and a sly smile before grabbing my wrist and yanking me closer. It's a bit late to play coy, you can touch. It's invisible to the naked eye, but when she guides my hand to her neck and I carefully run my fingers over her cool skin, I feel the raised, long-healed scar. I can't help but shudder. Whoa. Teeth, sharp and unforgiving. The scar is messy and deep, and clearly her sire showed her little mercy in her final moments of mortality.
I loved him, even after what he did. But I could never forgive him for taking that choice away from me. For not even giving me one in the first place.
Yikes. She releases me and lets her hair fall back over her shoulder.
Years all begin to bleed into one eventually. You watch your family die, all while you remain unmoored, just existing somewhere in between. You prepared for that? To watch your loved ones wither and die. To be tethered to me for the rest of time.
But what happened to him then? She left him, right? So she mentioned, I think in an earlier episode, that she had left her husband. And that's how she came across Ilias in London, when he was playing Jack the Ripper. Her smirk is devilish. Oh, sorry. My little cat's like, why do you keep making that noise? Please stop. You're like being weird. He's having a good time. Maybe it's time for you to make a guest appearance. No? You're stuck. He's stuck on his ball. His little cat scratcher has 2 little bouncy balls. Oh my gosh. You are such a good climber. His little cat scratcher has 2 bouncy balls on it. So, I'm nervous to pick a decision. Let's try this. My heart is a hammer in my chest, ready to quite literally burst out of my ribcage alien style. Is this really happening? I'm so ready. I've never been ready for anything in my life. You know, I'm impressed. I can't detect even an ounce of hesitation on you. She grabs my chin again, tightly, leaning in to run her nose along the edge of my jaw. I shudder from head to toe.
Before they die, humans tend to reek of fear and dread. Oh, it's exhilarating. But you...
When she pulls away just enough for her to make sure I can look into her eyes, she bites on her bottom lip.
You smell like excitement. It's a most delicate, intoxicating ambrosia. I can't wait to taste you.
I don't know whether to be horny or scared. My breath hitches and I nod slowly but with great enthusiasm, trying to telegraph that I'm incredibly stoked right now without having to use my brain to form a coherent sentence. My heart does something weird in my chest again, and an inverted beat, all of my blood rushing the wrong way as I try to focus on the sight of Valeria moving towards me with greater intent and that hungry look in her eyes. She laughs, tutting quietly.
Oh, don't be afraid, little bird. I'll take good care of you.
Stupid of me to forget, she can hear the way the organ is literally trying to pound its way out of my body. My ribcage ready to split open and let everything vital pour out onto her nice silk bed sheets. I bet they cost a lot of money. She tilts her head, a sharp smile cutting her perfect face in two as she reaches out and curls 2 cold fingers around my wrist. She feels the bumps in my veins and the delicate bones with the pat of her thumb, and I think it might be the horniest thing I've ever experienced.
To make you feel good first.
With what? What do you mean? First?
Well, yes. Before the whole killing you part.
Oh my goodness. Right, that. Killing me, then bringing me back as your favorite new immortal partner? Shit! She snickers and boops me on the nose with a fingertip. Ah, cute. You're cute. That's not exactly an answer, but okay. I guess there's no going back now. I'm just glad I'm going out this way, and if she refrains from fully murdering me, we'll have a nice experience to look back to get on it together.
Fast, like a little rabbit. It's so noisy.
I got you. He was gonna fall. Sorry. I had to take care of him. She brings my wrist to her mouth, brushing her lips over. Oh, he's tired. Are you ready to come sit with me? Yeah, he's tired. Kiwi-wee. Kiwi-wee. Oh, my goodness. Okay, never mind. He says, no, Mom. I don't want to be on your stupid video. She brings my wrist to her mouth, brushing her lips over my pulse point. I can see the white of her fangs, the threat of them making my toes curl. And then she licks a white stripe along my skin, stopping at the heel of my hand to apparently savor the taste. You taste sweet, like honey. Is that a good thing? Her answering laugh makes me flinch, and she's quick to grab my other wrist as she settles over me, her thighs astride my waist. She's petite in stature, but there's nothing small about Valeria. She looms, filling the room with an almost oppressive presence, even when standing beside a physical giant like Ilias or someone like Laurel, who can cut you to the core with just a look. Her dress rides up her legs as she shifts on top of me, already leaving little to the imagination, but the way the fabric pulls at the curve of her hips makes my mouth water. Wow, really? Are you that... Chill out. Have some respect. I'd reach out and touch her if she wasn't pinning my wrists above my head, but then again I can't exactly bring myself to be mad about that. Stay. I nod. I have no interest in disobeying her.
Now, tell me what you want, kitten. Use your imagination.
Oh no, I have to make a choice? Okay, well, she really likes handcuffs, right? So let's try that. I feel like I could fight God and win right now, so I pointedly look at the handcuffs and Valeria follows my gaze. You really want to play? I nod. I do. Very well. Valeria releases my hands, but I keep them exactly where she placed them, as she leans over and retrieves both the handcuffs and a sliver of black silk. She holds them up in the air and looks somewhat triumphant. Both? This feels like a trap. This feels like a trap. But if maybe she'd be turned on by trust. Because to do that indicates that you feel like a lot of trust with that other person, right? So I'm kind of like, maybe she'd be flattered by the fact that we're stupid. And that we're trusting someone to not kill us, who's repeatedly told us that she is going to, in fact, kill us and eat us. She takes a hold of my wrists first and closes the cool metal around them. The click of the locks feels like the final nail in my coffin.
Well, it's been a while since I've been with a human. You're all warm and fragile. It would take so little to break you.
A break. She laughs again, a more condescending noise this time, her dark hair falling over her shoulders as she leans closer, her nose is brushed. Now close your eyes. I obey, and the cool silk of the fabric is placed over my eyes. I'm suddenly hyper-aware of every touch she bestows upon me, my other senses sharpen to the knife's edge. Let's get you out of these pesky clothes, shall we? Yes. I can feel her hair tickling my throat when she leans in, a commanding palm splayed flat against the center of my chest. It's a wordless command to stay down. Like I could even think about moving when she has me like this. Do you miss looking at me, touching me? I groan as she leans in and nips at the soft flesh in my throat, the vague promise of fangs driving me crazy. I've always been into the idea of being bit by a vampire in theory, but that was when I thought they were nothing more than a figment of the population's imagination, something that lived only on pages or movie and TV screens. Knowing that they're real and having one directly above me, intending to bite me, is a whole other story. Sorry, I'm censoring myself. Those fakers can never hold a candle to the real thing.
A lovely specimen.
Thank you. I wonder what you'll taste like. Her clever fingers walk down my abdomen at an agonizingly slow pace, finally settling between my thighs, and I swear I see God or maybe the devil when she finally touches me where I need it the most. I try to catch my breath between the not so gentle waves of pleasure as we move together, Valeria intermittently whispering filth in my ear like she intends to kill me with dirty talk instead of fangs. If only you can see yourself, all wrapped up like a present. Her voice wraps around my throat, filling my lungs like smoke. I nod mutely past the point of coherency of making any sense whatsoever. Every part of me is lit up and turned on, my blood rushing fast and hot, and there's a distinct feeling rising from the darkest depths of my stomach. It curls at the base of my spine and squeezes, and I know my time has... Alrighty. Valeria pushes her thumb into my mouth until I'm choking on the remainder of my sentence.
You don't need to say it. I can smell it on you. Can taste it.
I'm impressed that you lasted this long. I make a weird noise that I hope I don't remember later, if I even have it later. It bodes well for me that my feeble human stamina impresses you. She laughs and the sound makes my toes curl, her eyes dark and reverent and swallow me whole. Like she knows exactly when I'm about to fall over the precipice I've been desperately clinging to. She leans in and presses, oh, sorry, my child. It's okay. Come here. No, Kiwi, you can come up. This is inappropriate for children. Kiwi, say hi. Say hi, Kiwi. Yeah, Mama's wearing makeup. Did you have a nice dinner? No, you're like, I'm tired, Mama. Okay, Mama knows. Like she knows exactly when I'm about to follow the precipice I've been desperately clinging to. She leans in and presses her lips to mine hard enough to brand the shape against my skin. I let go and I'm free falling. Yup, cool. Hot white burst of pain. The kind you get if you curl your fingers around a skull and came straight out of the oven, but then it's gone. It hurts still, but the pain bleeds into something verging on pleasure. It spreads through me, warm and tingly, not much unlike the feeling I've just experienced. I furrow my brow and try to my hardest to stay lucid as she drinks. The noises she makes are sensual, little whimpers and groans, muffled by the thick glut of blood that slides down her throat. I still have the brain power to decide that it's the hottest thing I've ever experienced. Valeria shudders and pulls back, and she yanks the blindfold off my face, and what I see makes me wonder if I'm already dead, if I'm in a really messed up version of vampire heaven. Damn, she buff, though. Holy shit, she buff. Wow. Wait, she kept her dress on this entire time? Damn, okay. Wow, I would have gotten a little more comfortable, but that's just me. Her eyes are wide and glittering, as a line of blood, my blood, trickles down her chin. She presses her fingers into her skin to stem the trail, catching the liquid before messily pushing as much of it into her mouth as she can. She sucks her digits clean.
Like cherries. Ripe ones. Better than I anticipated.
She licks the red from her teeth and smirks down at me, and my dying heart stutters in my chest. No time for dessert. No! We're gonna die. She bites into her wrist, 2 perfect puncture wounds that drip a deep, dark red, the most perfect little bead surfacing on her pale skin. She presses it to my mouth and the taste of copper bursts against my tongue. It's cold. It's cold, Kiwi. Instinctually, I drink until she pulls away, satisfied.
Good night, little bird. See you on the other side.
God damn it. I feel her hand brush over my eyes, her touch feather light. Everything goes dark again. The tingling in my limbs gets stronger, and death feels a lot nicer than I anticipated. In fairness, I'd say it was a pretty good curtain call. I know how this goes. I've spent enough time writing this shit online. Dizziness, nausea, blood vessels constricting as the body tries to compensate for its losses. But this is different. Maybe it was the blood that Valeria fed me, like some kind of morbid vampire ibuprofen. Take 2 on a full stomach before dying and wake up eternally hot. She's still touching me, her cool fingertips tracing the shape of my lips and brushing over my eyelashes where they fan against my cheeks. I wonder if she's helping me through it. It's intimate and it feels like the start of something. The pain begins to reach a fever pitch as my body readies itself for the transformation, but Valeria's lips are at my ear before I lose consciousness. Her voice breathy and sweet, gentle in a way it wasn't before.
I can't wait to see what kind of monster you'll become.
I feel a strange sense of peace through the pain as it peaks and tapers into numbness, and I let go. I let myself fade away. See you on the other side. Did I die? No, I made it! Guys, I actually friggin' made it! We're gonna keep going just like a little further. It's the same feeling, the prelude to waking up. It's 5 minutes before your alarm goes off, when you know you're about to enter the waking world, but the desperation to stay asleep claws at you. My fingers begin to twitch, and I blink as if I'm stuck, anchored to the land of dreaming. Hazy memories drift to the forefront of my mind, then perfect clarity. Everything. I remember it all. From entering the house, to meeting the vampires, to the interview, to Valeria's bedroom, and finally to the turning. I'm still in Valeria's bed, my eyes still closed, my senses slowly returning. I can smell her all around me, floral and sweet and sharp. As well as my nose feeling superpowered. My ears are fine-tuned to, well, everything. I can hear the skittering of animals outside, the gentle chatter of humans down the street. And then I realize that there's also a couple things I can no longer feel. Once vital things. The most vital of all, my heart is dead. I'm hyper-aware of it in my chest, and it feels heavy despite its dormancy. A gentle reminder of my new state of being, I suppose. There's also a distinct coolness to me, from my bones to my skin, though it isn't the same as being caught in the snow and left to thaw. It's just a strange, prickling awareness. All things considered, this feels like a peaceful sort of awakening. There might be a distant memory of pain and screaming, of my body dying and rebuilding itself while I was stuck somewhere in between, but it doesn't haunt me. Maybe it's tucked away for keeps. I take a moment to embrace it all. And then I feel a finger poking at my cheek. Hey! I hear a quiet, dirty laugh, and I'm all suddenly too aware of a body beside me. Valeria. She's lying flush against me, her body temperature now feeling strangely normal, if not a little warmer than my own. I suppose that technically I'm a freshly risen corpse.
Wake up, sleepyhead.
What's up? I groggily open my eyes when I hear her voice. My eyelids feel heavy and my head is throbbing like I'm suffering through the worst hangover in the history of everything, but the sight of Valeria soothes away the ache. What? Girl, when did you get dressed? When did you get dressed? Okay, anyways. Leaning over, she presses her crimson lips to my ear, her voice dipped low. Good night, no, and happy Death Day. Night? How long was I out for?
You died, little bird. It takes time for the body to recover from that.
You were out for about 3 days, give or take. Not bad. I've seen some take up to a week to turn fully. As I shift under the covers, I focus my attention on my arms. Most specifically, that they crossed over my chest like I'm a poor facsimile of those dramatized vampire movies that she scoffs at. I roll my eyes at her, trying desperately not to smile.
You're the one so enamored with all those silly little vampire tales, kitten. Besides, I was bored. Had to entertain myself somehow.
Her pout shifts into a smirk. I pause for a moment to take her in, where she lounges beside me, and if they were still able to, I think my cheeks would be heating. The incredibly flimsy lingerie that she's wearing leaves little to the imagination, and for that I'm incredibly thankful. It even has sparkles. Feels like I'm seeing her for the first time in high definition. She's even more beautiful than my feeble human eyes could ever possibly comprehend. She has a glass of red wine, expensive and old, my new nose tells me, in one hand, and in the other clutches an indecent-looking novel titled First Bite. The cover is adorned with a particularly lewd illustration of a vampire chowing down on a half-naked human who looks a little too pleased about it. I can relate. A vampire romance novel? Is it good? You are absolutely not in the position to judge me.
Did dying make you forget that you write cryptid erotica, sweet thing?
Fair point. Can I at least see the synopsis? Can't have my sire reading subpar smut. I move my hand to reach for the book, and I see that my other dark clothes have been replaced by a black silk robe, but even has fluffy sleeves. Before I can question it, Valeria speaks. It looks adorable on you. I stare at her for a hot minute before I remember her tricky mind powers. Thanks, I think. You're incredibly welcome. Now, do you feel like taking up your new body for a spin? Close your eyes, baby things. I nod and oblige without hesitation.
Laurel, enter.
Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm so overwhelmed, guys. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I don't know if I'm gonna be ready for this. I don't know if I'm gonna be ready for this. I don't know if I'm gonna be ready for this. Laura and Elias are standing in front of me, and as if I had to guess, they were probably lurking outside and doing some very casual vampire eavesdropping. Valeria asked us to assist with gently easing you into the fold. What Laurel said. So what does that entail exactly? Valeria sets aside her book and the black glass of wine and stands to join the other two.
A little surprise for you.
I don't know if I should be afraid or not. I love surprises. The three of them grin at me, sharp teeth on display. It's decidedly unnerving. I narrow my eyes at them, feeling less enthusiastic suddenly. Please don't bring in a human for me to suck on.
Baby fangs. It's nothing like that. Yet.
It's your very first day as a vampire, and... Valeria nods to both Elias and Laura, and all three of them pull something from behind their backs and place it on their heads. That's adorable. They got dressed up with... They put on... Why does this look like clip art that's not even a part of this actual game? They're also all holding colorful party poppers. This is the best birthday ever. If my heart could beat, I think it would be pounding double time. The fact that they all did this for me and that they all look so happy, it feels like I'm part of their family, like they're proud of me. I really hope vampires don't cry blood. I guess I'm about to find out.
Happy birthday.
Aw, it's so cute. After a little celebration, Valeria escorts Laurel and Elise out of her room to give me a moment to compose myself. I walk around trying to get used to driving this hot new immortal body. I stare down at my palms, my skin flawless, if not a little pastier than its usual hue. I poke my fangs with my tongue, feeling the newly sharpened points. Valeria said that they'll get bigger in time, and she seems to find great pleasure in calling me baby fangs. Baby fangs, that's what I call you. That's not what I call him. I don't call him that. I dig it. I'm actually a vampire, a real-life blood-sucking fiend. Dracula and I are practically the same-ish. Saying the words out loud makes it feel real, and I know what I want to do next. Thinking of Ilias, Valeria, and Laurel standing together, it hits me that my entire life has changed in ways I couldn't possibly fathom. Everything I thought I knew, all the things I held dear, all of that's behind me now. And yet, the thought is strangely appealing. My stomach flutters, and my chest tightens, but the tears that spring to my eyes don't feel like any sort of grief at all. It feels like a new beginning, and just maybe, belonging. I wander downstairs and find myself back where I started in the foyer. The portrait of nasty Dennis feels no less threatening, though, despite my newfound immortality. I chuckled to myself, just 3 days ago I was a regular human who stumbled my way into their lives. So much has changed, but I'm still the same me. I'm still no. Well, that's not completely true. I'm the technical version of myself, remastered, and now on Blu-ray. Okay, so we're gonna be drinking blood. I'm suddenly all too aware of the way my throat burns. My body aches to take my first drop. I greedily snatch the wine glass from their hands and down at one go like a frat boy at a kegger. I catch the messy dribble of blood that runs down my chin with the back of my hand. I lick it clean, careful not to waste a drop. That's good. I look at them all staring at me, eyes wide, grins wider. I realize that I probably look like a wild animal, unable to control myself. I'm sorry.
Think nothing of it. Your first drink should have that kind of emotion behind it.
The ache never dulls. It's glorious.
Control comes with practice, kitten.
Valeria carefully pours me a second drink from a blood bag. Oh, negative. Drink up. I savor this round. I take small sips, letting it linger on my tongue and really enjoying the taste for the first time. Copper sweet like a mouthful of pennies with a spoonful of sugar on top. I wonder if every human tastes the same. A woozy kind of drunkenness overtakes me, a semi-replacement from the warmth I now lack. I think I need to sit down. Elias guides me over to the sofa and we both take a seat before Valeria and Laurel follow suit. We all cozy up together in the too small space. Finally, an excuse to get a new sofa. I hate this thing. Blood tipsy and sated, I can't help but smile as I sink back into the plush cushions. How do you feel? It's a lot to take in and I'm sure it'll take some time to get used to the whole being dead thing. But I feel good. Really good.
Luckily, you've got eternity to figure it out.
Unless you find yourself in the hands of a vampire hunter.
I'll tear anyone who tries to tear you apart with my bare hands. Screw those Van Helsing types, am I right? Valeria raises an accusatory brow at me, but she's quick to shake her head and smirk when I wink at her. Can't believe there really are vampire hunters, though. Next you'll tell me that Mothman is real. Laurel stares at me blankly. He is. He has a great ass. But regardless, I wouldn't worry your pretty little head about hunters, no. I just realized the music is so loud. I'm turning it way down. Sorry, guys. It's been, what, 50 years since we last encountered one? The last vampire hunter that dared to enter the city of Portland didn't last very long. We destroyed them without even breaking a sweat. Pathetic.
We celebrated our resounding victory.
What are you doing?
Sprinkled donuts.
Sweet boy, where are you going? Ilias huffs, clearly offended that Laurel took the glamour out of his story. Yeah, covered in the blood and guts of our brutally slain enemies.
Free donuts are the only real way to celebrate anyway.
Ilias huffs, and like in Portland is like a huge donut town. I gotta be completely honest, and like my Oregon people might hate me there. I was not a big fan of food out in Oregon. I really like the seafood out there. The seafood, and like any kind of Asian cuisine out there is really good. Really, really good. But man, there's like certain kinds of food out in Oregon that I can't eat. But one of the ones that I could eat, well, rarely. I'm not a big donut fan. And in fact, like if you bring donuts, I might only have like a half because they're rich, but not in a satisfying way. And people might hate me for that. But like, you know how like when you get a cinnamon roll from like Cinnabon and you're like, like, you know, it's so rich, it like makes me sick to my stomach, but it's so good that I want more. I don't feel that way about donuts. Because if a donut is fresh and hot and like warm, but I don't, you know, like if it's a mini donut, like that you would get at a state fair or something, that to me is the perfect kind of donut. If it's anything other than that, I'm kind of like, you know, I mean, I guess, you know. Elias Hofson folds his huge arms across his chest, an impressive pout on his lips. I need to hear this story in intricate detail. Some other time, we promise to teach you everything we know. I just want to know how to contribute to protecting our coven if shit hits the fan, you know? We are a coven, right? What's the proper terminology here? Brood, clutch, pack, clan, coven, all are interchangeable. What should I call us? You're our kin. I let the name settle on my tongue. I like it. Good, because you're here to say you have to like it. The room falls into silence, and it's the comfortable kind. I look around, taking everything in. Powerful Ilias, entrancing Laurel, breathtaking Valeria, smile to myself. This is my new home, my new life, my new world. This is a very, like, polyamorous visual novel, and I didn't actually anticipate that. But I really kind of like it. I kind of like that. Oh my god. That's it? That's the ending? Wow, that was shorter than I had anticipated. Oh my gosh. Laurel is a pet crow? Wait, when did that happen? Goth boobs, huh? Oh, that's so funny. We made it. But then, could I hook up with Ilias? Is it the same thing every time, or what if I chose to hook up with Ilias? Like, what other routes could I take? Bro. Okay, bro, wait. What if I...
Oh, it's been a while.
Okay.
You can...
I'm trying to figure out... So, like, there's no way that I can hook up with Ilias? It's only Valeria?
Don't
That feels fake. Okay, that feels fake.
Fuck. Good night, little...
Wait a minute. So that is the end. Wow, so that's the end. That's very surprising. Is there... No, okay, so like... Oh, I've only died 2 different ways. Okay, so wait, so there's 2 endings with Valeria. There's one with Laurel. But wait a minute, how did I not get to go with Ilias? I picked Ilias, but then I ended up with Valeria. Weird. Okay, I might have to try this some other time, but I'm going to try to bring this episode to a close, my friends. So I want to thank you all so much for watching First Bite. I might be revisiting this at another point when I can kind of like figure out how to poke around in it and get the other CGs. And if I can, I'll be able to post that episode. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video and if you like this series, please give a thumbs up on this video. It really does help the channel out. Also consider subscribing. When you subscribe, be sure to hit the notifications bell so you get updates on when I upload future episodes. Without further ado, thank you all so much for watching. Bye! I would like to give a very special shout out and thanks to my patrons, AceWolf741, Deep Dive Dylan, D. Roberts, Brian White, Devil J, Caleb Putnam, Robin Harper, Bob Conway, Cody Webb, and Maticus Sama.